Goeiedag, good day, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And before we go live with Petrus and Piet Retief to hear the bail hearing of these 4 white farmers and a black foreman, what I want to do is I want to give you a hit-by-hit account of actually what happened in this particular event. And I'm just going to read from this transcript. And basically, it exposes how the public prosecutor is completely contriving the evidence and actually preventing relevant evidence from being put before the court and putting fabricated evidence before the court. So let's listen to what they have to say. The Dirkiesdorp court case is revealing something extremely disturbing, but not surprising. Day by day, and it is systematic prejudice and racial hatred that the state's black officials harbour against the white minority of South Africa. The endemic bias is being revealed like never before in the Dirkiesdorp court case in Piet Retief, and that is why every single white South African should be aware of this case. Now, let me show you a video of how many white people turned up to support these 4 white farmers implicated of murder. It'll shock you. Here comes the video.
Ek is nou in Piet Retief en EFF is hierso. Dis 'n paar honderd van hulle. En hulle doen hulle wil die werkie wals hier voor die hof. En daar was 'n paar honderd van ons mense wat gesê het nee, hulle gaan opdaag, hand en tand beloof, nee, ons is daar. Ons sien julle daar, ons kry julle daar, hoef nie eers vir ons lift te reël nie, ons sal self ry. En ek oordryf as ek sê, was 300-400 mense wat bereid was om te kom vandag nie. En nou daag ek op, en ek julle gewys. Dis hier opgedaag, daar is die karre. Ons is miskien 15 mense. En ek moet sê, ek is bitter teleurgesteld. Ek is bitter teleurgesteld in ons mense. Ons praat altyd so van, ja, ons moet saam staan. Sure, great, ons staan saam. Maar as die skote klap, en verskoon my taal, shit it's a fan, dan is julle nêrens te vind nie. En vandag is my Afrikaner hart bitter, bitter seer, want julle praat altyd so van ons moet saam staan. Maar julle is nêrens te vind nie. En ek het nou met Petrus gepraat, en hy is kwaad. Die man is bitter kwaad. Petrus? Die man het gesê, jy weet, as die skote klap, is ons mense altyd, hulle is bang, nee, ons gaan nie opdaag nie, want ons is bang iets gebeur, so ons gaan by die huis bly vir ingeval ons aanval. En dis nonsens. Want vir heeltemal te lank sê ons moet saam staan, maar ons doen nie. Petrus, vertel gou vir die mense wat jy dink.
Hallo, my naam is Petrus Pagamilisito. Mense, eintlik met Afrikaans ek sê so gatvol, met die mense ons kan nie saam staan nie. Want baie van die mense hulle is bang gehad. Hulle sit in die huis. En dan as mense gaan soontoe, want ek is bang. Ek Petrus, swart man, ek is hierso by Piet Retief. Waar is jy? I'm asking this question, where were you? I'm here at Piet Retief, keyboard warrior. Daai mense, hulle sukkel. Boere, wat hulle bring vir ons kos, en jou kos in die tafel. En jy sê niks vir dit nie. Maar ek sê vir julle, 7de Mei, asseblief man, ons soek julle daar so by Junie gebou. Ek Petrus, ek gaan die memorandum vir die president gee, met hierdie dan van die plasmoord. Mense, dankie baie julle.
Dankie Petrus, baie dankie. Jy het die man gehoor. Hy is net so teleurgesteld soos ek. Ek meen, daar's hoeveel van julle wat gesê het julle kom, en nou dat daar op julle geroep word, nou is julle hier nie. Ek is bitter teleurgesteld. En vervolgens vra julle weer vir mense, nee, maar ons kort 'n leier en alles. Hier's baie leiers. En julle is te bang. Julle is te bang om op te daag. En einde van dag soos hulle sê, yes, together we stand or divided we'll fall. En as ons divided fall, is hy bloed op jou hande. Jy as slapgat wat nie vandag opgedaag het nie. Ek's bitter teleurgesteld.
Now, of course, I'll be meeting Petrus shortly in a live stream. He's going to be back at Piet Retief to support these farmers. Where are the rest of the white community? That's the big question. Where are they? This is absolutely crazy. Anyway, let's continue. 4 white farmers and a black farm foreman have been in jail since the 9th of April on extremely serious charges ranging from murder to kidnapping, because the state was eager to charge them with everything under the sun. So the state has the farmers about thrown with everything but the kitchen sink. The state relied from the outset on a totally false narrative to paint a false picture of what happened on the 9th of April, thus creating false complaints. And again, the public prosecutor is a complete and utter... he shouldn't be there. You know, he's a con man. The public prosecutor is a con man. He's fabricating evidence. Anyway, let's continue. However, on Monday the 26th of April, the defense presented a trump card in court. Defense attorney Jaap Cilliers said in court on Monday that the state lied about every aspect of the case, and the videos prove those lies. 2 videos were submitted to the court by the defense of static security cameras installed on the storage of the farm Pampoenkraal, and as we know, footage cannot lie, but still the state refuses to show the footage in court. It only may be referred to. So the public prosecutor is actually withholding relevant evidence from the magistrate. Let's continue. Instead of admitting that the state has lied so far, prosecutor Robert Mokakakane continued to focus on the false narrative and on technical aspects such as the authenticity of the videos. How do you make a video in each case? Nevertheless, A.O. Nglapo folded under cross-examination and conceded that some of his witnesses were lying after watching the video. Conceded they were lying. These are the guys who've got these 4 white farmers and this black foreman behind bars on the charge of murder. The video substantiates the farmers' version in the following respects. The farmers and their farm workers appeared calm and peaceful and did not wear weapons or bulletproof vests. Even Nshlapo conceded it. The farmers did not assault anyone, and Nshlapo also conceded it. Zenzele Koka showed up with the farmers and farm workers. He was not part of the protesters, but a loyal Potgieter employee. The videos show Amos Koka arriving in a small white vehicle, followed by a pickup truck with 3 occupants. Zenzele then ran to the gate of the farm, and a long struggle ensued, with the result of Zenzele drove his brother Amos away from the farm. Yet the state alleges that the farmers killed both Zenzele and Amos with premeditated counsel, as if they were the type of farmers or gang hit squads. But why would they want to shoot Zenzele if Zenzele was on their side? The video also shows how 4 toys arrived at Pampoenkraal with sticks to intimidating existing workers, a very old ANC tactic. The video further shows that 8 to 9 existing workers then gather their belongings and more away from storage. The video also shows how Greiling then arrives with a group of farm workers on his pickup truck. Zenzele was with him. The video shows how Steinberg then leaves the farm and only arrives later with the police. Unfortunately, the incident where Zenzele was shot was not captured on video. Klingenberg's version, however, is that he shot Amos Coca in self-defense after Amos shot wildly and in the process shot his own brother, Zenzele. And Schlapo admitted under cross-examination that he made no attempt to investigate the serious assault of the 3 farmers. No single stick of the toys was handed on in evidence. And Schlapo denied that the toy sticks could be considered weapons. This despite the fact that one farmer with extremely serious injuries suffered a fractured skull. The false narrative began on the day the police spokesperson issued a statement telling the false story of how farmers attacked a group of peaceful black job seekers, assaulted some of them, kidnapped one, and on the top of 2 of them, brothers Amos and Zenzele Coca. The charges are so serious that, if true, it would have landed the farmers in jail for the rest of their lives. But the charges are totally false and made up. We are once again dealing with a total abuse of capture of the state's machinery by black officials and activists to create a false narrative and charges for no other reason than to put white people in jail, regardless of their innocence. Now one wonders why these black officials want to deliberately destroy these farmers by persisting in lying. Are the black officials part of a plan to push the farmers off their land? Is it pushed by the black attendees? Who of us, our family or children, is next in the sights of the state's relentless, hateful black officials? We have already seen that speakers of the Coca brothers' funeral referred to the Dirkiesdorp incident as part of a ground struggle, and evidence has already come out indicating that the people who entered the farm Pampunskraal on the 9th of April with sticks in hand were engaged in a type of ground struggle. They wanted to drive away the farmer Werner Potgieter's seasonal workers, and they are also looking for permanent residents on the farmer's land, but do not want to work. Indeed, the story that the police sketched that the illegal entrants at Pampunskraal were innocent job seekers is absolutely crazy. They were violent toys. We know what this means. Screaming, yelling, screaming, burning, and jumping around like fools on one leg. 3 Dirkiesdorp farmers, Werner Potgieter, Dani Milan, and Hansi Mollman, were extremely violently assaulted by the toys on the 9th of April. Hansi Mollman suffered a skull fracture, but the South African police conducted an extremely one-sided investigation at the scene on the 9th of April. The farmers and their toys stood in 2 groups on either side of the dirt road, and the police arrested the farmers as the toys called out their names. The investigating officer, Adjutant Officer Nshlango, has already admitted in the bail application that he only obtained the version of the toys. He only obtained the version of the toys, the people who had come into the farm ground illegally and attacked the white farmers. Let's be clear on that. No toys were arrested, despite the fact that 2 farmers were hospitalized for their injuries, and Dani Milan's eye socket in the prison cell was sutured by a private doctor. If the investigating officer had not been so one-sided and biased, he would have first gathered all the evidence before deciding on steps that were to be taken into custody, or who was to be taken in custody. But as we know, A.O. and Schlapo and his colleagues only locked farmers in front of the foot. Without him, the farmers once asked what their version was. Now, I'm sorry, but this is a translation from Afrikaans into English, so some of it doesn't quite make sense, but I think you can follow the gist of what's been said. The state's case was brief from the beginning, that the 4 charged white farmers and 1 black farm foreman, Dani Milan, 38, Cornelius Kraling, 25, Othard Klingenberg, 53, Ignatius Steinberg, 31, and Zenzele Yende, on 9th of April, acted with a common goal and killed the brothers Amos and Zenzele Coker on purpose and with premeditated counsel. The state uses legislation that is normally used in a gang investigation, as if the farmers are a bunch of evil gang members. That, while we know the ANC is the real evil gang that is stealing the country out. The state also wants to charge Werner Potgieter, owner of Pampoenkraal, but he was in hospital, and for that reason he has not yet been able to present himself in court. The state wants to charge Potgieter, Yende and Kraling with attempted murder and kidnapping of one of the toy-toys. In fact, the farmer only made a civil arrest on him with the intention of handing him over to the police after he severely assaulted Potgieter. That is precisely why they called the police. Would the farmers call the police if they did something wrong? And just for the record, the police didn't come out until long after all this had finished. The video evidence does indicate that the farmers did not act lawlessly on the 9th of April and acted within the law. The farmers have always said that only one farmer, Othard Klingenberg, shot dead Amos Coker out of emergency, because of the emergency situation, after Amos took down one of the farmers' firearms and started shooting randomly with it. Now, you got a guy who's just firing off shots around the place. You know, you're under attack. You're not allowed to respond? This is crazy. The farmers have always provided a coherent version of events, and now they have provided irrefutable evidence to support their version. The 2 videos. The videos prove that the state not only lied about some aspects, but that they lied about everything. They not only sucked facts out of their fingers, but created a comprehensive false narrative. And again, remember, this public prosecutor, who's the one who's basically in charge of what is presented to the court, is the man who was a public prosecutor in the coffin case, where once again fabricated evidence was presented, landing up with 2 white guys being put behind bars for 15 and 17 years. But after 3 years on appeal, they were released because it was found that the evidence had been fabricated. And yet the same public prosecutor is now in charge of a case involving 4 white farmers. This is how completely disgusting and corrupt the judicial system is in South Africa. The sponsorship application resumes on Wednesday. That's today. It was a calmer day in and around Piet Retief on Monday compared to last Monday, when several white people and vehicles were indeed in racial hate attacks by black attackers. A farmer was also set on fire last Monday. No wonder the rage or outbursts of anger based on false reasons began to calm down as the false narrative of the state began to fall apart. Now, we talked about this last night when we're talking about the squatter camps, the white squatter camps. We're talking about how completely compromised the judicial system is in South Africa along racial lines by completely racist black government employees in very senior positions. like public prosecutors, magistrates and judges. I'm going to say no more about this. The live stream is at 8:30 a.m. South African time today, and I will be going live with Petra Sito, who will be attending this particular event. Please remember to register on lovinglifetv.com to be kept informed. That's the platform we're transitioning to. Please remember to subscribe to Loving Life here on YouTube. Please remember to like this video. Please remember to share this video. And above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.